Masterpiece, by definition from Google, a work of outstanding artistry, skill, or workmanship. A pretty cool way to describe that word, not gonna lie. However, I'd scrap it off, delete it, and write The Last of Us instead. It's easier. I'm a fanboy. I am. There is absolutely no movie, show, painting, adult video with the ability to evoke the same emotions as this Naughty Dog creation. There just isn't. But hey, even with this, I am still moved by rational thought, which means that I do have my reasons to why I think that The Last of Us 1 and 2, yes, I grouped them up, are the best piece of art ever created. And in today's video, I'll be discussing exactly that. Why are these games so goddamn good? So, leave a like, subscribe, and let's mother freaking go! By the way, this video will have major spoilers for both of them, so if you haven't played them yet, firstly, poor you, and secondly, you are really missing out. Poor you.
Our love was in flower as summer grew on.
I've said this before, but I will say it again. A game can have the greatest story, the most mind-boggling plot, be the most beautiful thing ever and have the biggest philosophical themes touched on. But if the gameplay is shit, then it's a shitty game, because you are not, gaming. Let's look at Death Stranding, for example. Great story, great acting, beautiful as fuck and a breathtaking soundtrack. But then the gameplay looks like this. Yes, I'm not even talking about the walking, because that's the main focus of the game and it's done quite well. I'm talking about the clanky-ass combat. It sucks, and for that, the game goes down a whole lot of points. Now, on another note, let's look at Doom Eternal, a game in which I don't have the single bit of clue on what the story is about, but that the gameplay is like boom, 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 oh, run, dodge, holy shit, I just made this guy go blind! Guess which game I liked more. Just try to guess. So, you get my point. I have to have my brain contented with some fun shit. Yes, there are some deviations of that rule, and I would still like The Last of Us even if it had a bad gameplay, because of the story, but to be a complete masterpiece, it has to have a good gameplay. And this game, even if it kinda overshadowed by the second one gameplay-wise, it still has a super fun and more than functional gameplay. And most importantly, one that I love. Yes, I can agree on it being a little bit stiff, but honestly, I don't care. I am Joel, I'm a tank of a man, I have a metal pipe and I will make you swallow it. I really think that there is no game that can top this sheer amount of impact and aggression as The Last of Us, in a realistic frame. It's a brutal world, with brutal people that sometimes get spanked by a brutal man. Why sometimes? Joel will not only change somebody's face, no, that's a fraction of his power. Maybe he just wants to blow out some brains. Maybe he will burn you alive, or maybe, just maybe, he will insert this most likely rusty nail in your neck. No, Joel, you don't want to put that in there. You are not supposed to put that in there, you crazy old ruthless crazy man. It's overall a very vast way of killing people in a brutal and fun way. Sadistic, yes, but I really love annihilating every single type of enemy that you encounter in this game, which, by the way, for the length of the experience, is enough variety. The way that I just talked about the gameplay gives the impression that Joel is actually John Wick in disguise. And if you play on normal, yes, Keanu Reeves is probably using a mask. But that's not the way I'd recommend you to play The Last of Us. You have to play this at least on hard. Trust me on this one, bro. And this goes for the second game as well. The sheer intensity that the encounters get just from playing on a harder setting is at least very big. And not just because of the increased damage you take, which yes, of course it's higher, but the core of that intensity lays on the lack of supplies. Being surrounded by heavily armed dudes or infected people with only 2 bullets for your pistola, 3 for your shotgun, and a dream is absolutely terrifying. You actually feel that you are in there. At each encounter you have to strategize. Can I take them up front? Will I need to sneak through? I don't have any rusty nails to fuck up a clicker, so should I just kill myself and end it right here? It really makes every encounter that much more intense and that much more immersive, which leads me to the next topic of the video. World and vibe is something that I have always praised on The Last of Us and that people don't really seem to talk about, and rightfully so. Every inch of this world is full of charisma. There is quiet moments for you to appreciate life, tense moments for you to shit your pants, and moments of nothing. Just walking and talking in a fucked up world like two human beings. I love it. And then of course you have the ability to explore this world in some more open-ended sections, which I also love. And this is probably the topic where I diverge from most people. I mean, it is very simple and some of you could find it tedious since it's basically go to a room, walk around the room, press triangle till infinity, leave the room. There's really nothing much to it. But there's something to it, man. Something about the vibe, searching shit in a destroyed world that was once just like ours, but that has been overtaken by nature, finding 2 bullets for your weapons, finding some alcohol to make a medkit. Yeah, sure. Then you discover a kindergarten and you're like, holy shit. All of this while Joel and Ellie, the meat of the game, the core, are speaking with each other, developing their relationships, telling jokes, telling stories, helping each other with these damn pieces of wood. It's great. With this, am I saying that if I explore alone with Joel is bad? Well, not necessarily. I still like it. I still think that it's vibey and very intense, but there is no doubt in my mind that the exploration is on its peak when you are with Joel and Ellie. Anyway, exploration out of the way, I love it. I know you find it tedious, who cares? Let's go into the topic that everyone agrees that's the best thing about this game. It's great, I love it, everyone loves it, and no, I'm not crying, you are. The good old story, a grumpy old man being saved by an innocent young child. An overused tale that is very simple but that passes a beautiful message. The Last of Us could have been just one more simple and cool tale, but no, it managed to be so much more. It managed to be about hope and love and tears and... Nah, Joel, don't say it, you don't mean it, come on, don't be a bad man, man. Even though you have all the rights to be a bad man. The way they hook you right on the first few minutes, you get instantly engaged with Joel and his fucked up story. Something like this could really happen to anyone, even you. Even me! If mushrooms decide to take over, we are fucked, man. Mainly the Sarahs. Then Naughty Dog continues to deliver that story in a way that has never been recreated by any game. Some games have tried, of course, but they have never reached that oomph, that... Every character you meet, every intense encounter you have, every dialogue you have while exploring, every cutscene, every tense moment, it leads into a phenomenal game, it leads into a phenomenal ending, and what an ending it is. Joel is not the hero. Joel is not a hero, he never was, he doesn't try to be a hero, he doesn't take his little cape and his little weird panties and puts them on and wants to save the world. No, he doesn't care. And you also don't care. They have Ellie, and if I was in this situation, I would do exactly the same thing. If I had the same military capabilities that he has. It's a brutal, real choice that was bound to have some serious consequences from both parties. On one hand, you have Ellie, lied to about what happened and having the meaning that she gave herself, you know, the meaning of her life, stripped from her without having any choice. And on the other hand, a hand that probably has a golf club tattooed on it, you have the Fireflies that were basically holocausted. So what happens on the second game shouldn't really be a huge surprise. Okay, we made it to here. The Last of Us Part 2, one of the most divergent games ever made. I remember it perfectly, I was so hyped for this. Those magnificent trailers, a house full of blood, the gameplay, man, I watched the trailers at least too many times. But then, the unexpected happened. The whole story, the main thing that everyone was hyped about, completely leaked for everyone to see. And the reaction wasn't pretty. People telling you not to buy it, begging for you to cancel your pre-orders. What is happening? Why is this happening to my most anticipated game ever? Why? I wanna see the leaks. I'm gonna see them. I'm gonna see them. This would be the reaction of most people. But then there's me, just like a fanboy with unmatched will would do. I waited and was sure that the internet was just being dumb like always. And guess what? I was right. Like always, the internet was being dumb. The Last of Us 2, for me, is the perfect sequel, and in conjunction with the first game, the best piece of media ever created.
And yes, you just didn't get it.
I'll walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think that The Last of Us gameplay had a lot more to evolve. Even though simple, it was very concise and functional, but Naughty Dog proved me that I was completely on the wrong. The gameplay got so much more quicker and swifter. Now you can dodge, crawl, jump, get through tight spaces. They added simple stuff, but simple stuff that made a world of a difference. Putting the pacing much quicker and allowing Naughty Dog to build much more complex level designs. Like much more. The Last of Us 1 already had some verticality and some big spaces, but nothing if compared to the second game. Now, because you are a 19-year-old that I would fuck and not a tank of a man, you are able to take a lot more advantage of all of that place. You can go up here, fall into a guy, sneak through here and slice a guy up, and it just gives you that feeling of, yo, I am badass as fuck. And then of course, you still have the encounters with the infected, which do not idealize that complexity of the levels as well, which is comprehensible since they are brainless fungus, but they do what they are supposed to do, being terrifying as hell. They all seem much more lethal. Mainly the bloaters. They were already badass on the first game, but here they seem much more tankier, much quicker, which leads you to be a lot more careful on planning, because unlike your mom, you cannot take everything at once. Clickers are still terrifying, but more manageable since you can dodge and give unsuspected fellow humans for them to feast. Stalkers are annoying, the new guys make me wanna vomit, and the runners are cool to stomp. Oh yeah, of course, and the Rat King is insane. Can I just ask why Abby's section transitioned into a full-on horror game? Jesus, that whole section was intense. Anyway, all of this, you take the life of all of these mostly alive beings using an arsenal. And man, I could talk about every weapon and why setting someone on fire with a shotgun kinda makes my psychopathic traits come off a bit, but nothing, and I mean nothing, can compare to the explosive arrows of Ellie. I mean nothing! I am gonna shut up for a bit and let you enjoy this. I know, games are indeed a pretty thing. Mainly on the gore. Man, gore-wise this game is amazing. And yes, The Last of Us 1 and 2 have the same type of head explosion, but for some reason The Last of Us 2 just feels a lot more visual and brutal. The way that Ellie breaks someone's jaw with a pipe, geez, not even Joel can top that amount of aggression. And it's just not tough pipes. The variety of stuff in which you can absolutely demolish someone's face has increased like a lot. Now you have big axes, pickaxes, hammers, cycles. Every single one of them feel great to use. Even your little pocket knife, not only because of the great animations, but also because the much needed dodge. It's so satisfying. And like, was it really that hard, Callisto Protocol, to implement a dodge? It's so basic but so functional. I love the combat dynamics and no game can top that feeling of that combat. I really love the combat. I think it's underrated. It's really good. Video games are indeed a really beautiful thing, man. Which leads me to the next segment of the video.
Talking away.
Oh my lord. I would say that the work that they have done on the atmosphere and the vibe in this game reached new highs from top to bottom. You feel the intensity of that world. They even tried and did some storytelling with the vibe itself. The places become darker and more flooded as you descend in your quest for vengeance with Ellie, in your quest of brutality. Bro, that really is my type of shit. I really like it. Now, when it comes to the exploration, it's also unbelievable. Like, it was an upgrade. And what an upgrade! The levels are huge! And full of side stuff to explore, with some very cool puzzles, some of which are not very puzzly, and yes, they could have used some more rope things, because the rope mechanics are really cool and the they almost forgot about them, but let's hide it under the rug, okay? Let's forget about it. And moments that, if placed on the main story, would easily pass as main stuff because they are that well put together and emotional. Exploring still remains very simple, pressing triangle, whatever, and even though you do not hear Joel and Ellie anymore, for obvious reasons, I still think that it's very enjoyable regardless, at least for me. This little game also nails one technicality that is present throughout the entire playthrough. One little thing that sometimes destroys a game's exploration, but that Naughty Dog didn't let ruin their game. I'm talking about the golden path. So, what is that so-called golden path? Pay attention because I'm about to spit some nerdy shit and you are kinda dumb. A game that is linear will sometimes have secondary stuff for you to explore, which is great, but they are divided into separate levels, or at least segments in which you cannot go back. You pass this door and what's behind it, it's over, c'est fini. So it's a game's job to make what's secondary and what's main easy to pick apart, so you don't have the risk of passing through a certain threshold and now you cannot go back and do the secondary stuff. The Last of Us 2 nailed that. Not once was I worried about skipping side stuff because I always knew what was the main content, the main door, and what was not main. Unlike you, Callisto Protocol. I am sorry I'm mentioning it again because that game really broke my heart. The Last of Us 2 really does a good job at that and makes exploring really enjoyable. At no point I was like, yo, a door, let's open it. Wait, why is there a cutscene? Oh, I cannot go back! And when that happens, the next explorable section will not be enjoyable, but it will be full of stress and oh, come on, man. What is the damn door? Oh man, buckle up now, because we have arrived at what for me is again the best part of the whole game. You heard me right, I love The Last of Us 2 story. I think it's a masterpiece like no other. And I am here to debunk the main things that you people filled with hate say about my favorite game. You heard me right. And yes, I might be a fanboy. Okay, first of all, Joel has been living in this area for 4 years. 4 years in a place that is, for the most part, pretty safe. There's no hunters throwing bricks, there's no infected, there's no cannibals trying to eat his adopted daughter. No, it's a overall safe place. So if he had softened up a tiny itsy bit, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But that's not the case here. Look, it was Tommy who said the name, not Joel. No, Tommy said his and Joel's name. Listen to this.
Hey, I'm Tommy. That's Joel.
I'll end you!
Say with me, Tommy. Say with me, Tommy. Ha! Take that. Joel was a bad man. He probably fucked up the entire humanity for a selfish reason. He's a ruthless murderer that tortures people and sometimes he doesn't even high-five Ellie. For the eyes of many, in that world, he is the villain. And guess what? She thought he was the villain and so she killed him. Was I mad? Yes. Would I prefer him to be alive? Also yes. But killing him in such a ruthless way so early in the game made you ready for vengeance, made you feel like Ellie, made you feel something. Even if it was hatred, it made you feel something, and it made you pick those dirty, smelly Ellie shoes, put them on, and get ready for a morally wrong vengeance quest. And yes, if you got so mad that you uninstalled the game because, ooh, Joel is dead, maybe you are just a little wimp. No, you are wrong. Ellie is an astronaut, and I will almost cry watching this scene, okay? Leave me alone. One of my favorite moments in gaming. Not because I like to fuck up Ellie, not because I prefer Abby over Ellie due to my compulsive kink about muscle mummies, but because when I saw that scene for the first time, I was like, what the hell? Playing 12 hours with the muscle monster wasn't enough, apparently. You have to break her entire face too. Shit. But okay, Naughty Dog, okay, I get that. I'll take that. But at least I get to kill her, right? Right? Firstly, yes, I get the ludonarrative dissonance that everyone talks about. You kill hundreds of guys, calling them fuckers, and then you reach Abby and it's like, yo, it's all good, bro. But don't ever forget that this is a video game, so let me kill people in peace and have my fun. Secondly, that fight is amazing, the sheer amount of ooh, it's great. And thirdly, no, she shouldn't have killed Abby. Yep, that's right, a fictional character understood better than you. Throughout her journey of vengeance, all of the time, her nightmares didn't get better. Her nightmares just kept getting worse. At each step, her fears got worse. Everything got worse, it wasn't getting better at all. So when she gets there, threatens Lev, starts to fight Abby and is on the brim of killing her, she remembers Joel again. But this time not all fucked up and with a bonk on his head, no. She remembers the last conversation that she had with him. And the thing is, would killing Abby bring him back? Well, probably not. So she lets her go. She lets her go and says a very, very deep thing. She says, take him. Referring to Lev? Well, I don't think so. I think that she's referring to Joel. Take him, take the nightmares, take the trauma, take the bad in me, just take everything. At least that's my interpretation of it. The interpretation of a fanboy? Well, yes, but I truly think that this story is amazing, full of twists and turns. For me, it has an amazing pacing and it made me feel stuff like never before. Again, no music, painting, show, whatever, you name it. If you didn't like it, cool, I loved it. It is my favorite game ever. But again, honestly, it doesn't matter. We are all gonna die. These are just some code lines made with the only purpose of entertaining us. So it really doesn't matter, okay? But I'll get this sexy guy finish up the video. So in conclusion, mixing everything up from the first to the second game, it rounds up in a pure masterpiece like no other. From mashing someone's face into a balcony to reflecting on the fact that the boat of Abby is facing forwards and the boat of Ellie is facing backwards, symbolizing their spirits basically. Abby wants to go forward, she wants to let the past go, she wants to be a better person, and Ellie just wants revenge, just wants to stay in the past. Everything is amazing and I don't think that any game will ever top the sheer amount of joy that I have when I remember and when I replay these games. And yes, if I were to give a note, a ranking, a number, it would actually be a 0 out of 10 because you killed doggos. You killed dogs in this game. I just tricked you all. This game sucks. Just cancel your pre-orders now. And so this is it. Thanks for watching. Don't let anyone named Ellie near your dogs and peace. Yes, I'm a fanboy. I'm a fanboy of The Last of Us. Tá.
Da jaqueta da Thor. Somos todos, Tom.